Hi everyone, and welcome to the Libra February 2022 mid-month love reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So this is normally a mid-month engagement reading that focuses on engaging your unique internal authentic self with your external environment, but due to the lovely Valentine's Day holiday that's just right around the corner, I am focusing on love this month. So we're going to take a look at overarching themes around love and what you need to be open and curious about and where you need to take action regarding love. Now, I actually also have been enjoying doing these readings so much that I might actually change my schedule, my setup to include a love reading every month from this point forward, because the messages have just been really interesting. So Libra, let's take a look right off the bat here at an overarching theme. What Spirit would like you to really be aware of around the energy of love for the month of February. What are you being asked to engage with? Let's take a look here. What do my Libras need to know? Okay, well, a card that came out there says romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. This is interesting. Now, when we think about love, love can pertain specifically to romantic partnership. Love can also be the connective energy between any deep interpersonal connection, be it a sibling, a friendship, a close work coworker. But here it says specifically romantic feelings. So Libra, for this reading, I'm going to focus on romantic partnerships. I get the feeling that there's a little bit of holding back, that perhaps some of you are either wanting to communicate something or there's a feeling here of basically almost not valuing your own feelings. That's what's really coming through, that there's a feeling for me that you are having a little bit of a difficulty understanding and valuing your feelings when it comes to romantic interpersonal relationships. And what does this mean? Now, this could look like when you are in a relationship, in a romantic partnership, that you might hold back some of your true feelings for the sake of wanting the other person to, either for the sake of the other person, meaning you don't want to, let's say, hurt their feelings, or you don't want to encroach upon their needs, or that perhaps there are things that need to be kind of let out around the relationship. And again, you hold back because you don't feel either that your insight is valuable, or that if you were to go ahead and speak these truths in a relationship, that they would even be heard or valued by your significant other. So there's an intuitive feeling coming through, kind of this lack of self-worth around understanding that your feelings and the expression of those feelings are just as important and as valuable as the other person you are currently in a romantic partnership with. And for some of you, this may not apply. This is a very specific reading coming through, and so I'm going to just kind of roll with it for those of you who need to hear it. But there are a few of you, I think, right now that really need to hear this, that your feelings are actually trying to point out something of importance to you. You know, we don't just kind of feel things willy-nilly. Our feelings are what really help guide our whole life experience. They are truly what engage us with what we're bringing in from our external environment and how it makes us feel. There's a trueness to our emotions on a certain level, that when we are happy, we feel joy. When we are sad, we feel sad. And so we have to honor that in the moment, that if we feel sad or we feel unheard, that we have to really open ourselves up to understanding why. And understanding as well that if we're in a committed partnership with somebody else who should be very supportive of us, that we should feel comfortable in expressing the good feelings and as much as the bad feelings, meaning that when we do feel that there is something a little off, or just each go through things at different points in our life. You may just be that you're having a really bad week and you need to kind of unburden yourself. That shouldn't be something that you feel you cannot let out to the person who is technically the closest to you. When we think of romantic partnerships, yes, we can have very strong bonds across the board in other areas of our life. But in a romantic partnership specifically, we get to choose who we engage in that relationship with. When you think about a sibling, or you think about even a work environment, a lot of times those interactions and those relationships are a little outside of our control, that we are just born into a family, or we enter a work environment and we have to engage with somebody else. But in a romantic partnership, we're the one who chooses that person to come into our life and to fulfill that role for us. And I really like to focus on the term partner, because that's really what you're going in together with this other person into a partnership. And when you think of a good partnership in Libra, you are the sign that harnesses the energy of balance. You are the sign that harnesses the energy of harmony. And so you really are set up to be a wonderfully loving partner to another, because you understand that balance. You understand the give and take. You understand both sides. But where this can become a hindrance is when perhaps you are doing that and the other person is not. So there's something here about, for this month, of really leaning into valuing the way you feel and valuing being able to express yourself equally on equal terms with the other person that you're in a romantic partnership with, but also understanding too that, let's say you are moving into a new relationship. Maybe you're not in a relationship at this point, and maybe now you're reflecting on that inequality in a past relationship. To, as you move into the next relationship, really lean into honoring yourself, and to really be vocal about all aspects of your feelings and owning that. And also, obviously, being able to honor that as well, coming from the other person. Okay, so I'm going to pull now 3 cards. We're going to pull a card for curiosity. So we're going to take a look at what Spirit would like you to stay open and curious to around the energy of love. And specifically here, since we're looking at romantic partnerships, we are going to say romantic partnerships. Oh wow, that's way too many cards. Sorry guys, this deck is a little sticky. And I'm hoping, oh, interesting. Okay, so I think we got 2 cards here. It came out pretty assertively. Oh, beautiful. So we have you are limitless. You can do anything you choose, the number 4. And we have forgiveness. It says nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. Number 29, which breaks down to the master number 11, which is the portal. Basically between what is currently and what can be when you open yourself up to co-creating with Spirit. So there's a beautiful energy with the number 4 and the number 11 of creating a new foundation through the energy of Spirit, of really leaning into what can be. And forgiveness, such a freeing energy. I love that there's forgiveness and then the limitlessness in these 2 cards. There's this realization that when you are able to forgive both yourself and another from a previous relationship, you allow the energy to expand in both directions again. Because often when we cannot forgive another and we cannot forgive ourselves, that we are limited on how we can grow and learn and perceive the past, and we limit ourselves in how we can grow and learn and perceive what is coming in and what will eventually create our future. And so when we forgive, we actually expand our timeline and our personal ability to learn and grow from our experience in both directions. And it's that is what allows us to realize the limitlessness of our experience. And I like that it really says nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointments. Yes, you may have been hurt in the past, or you may be currently being hurt as we speak in a relationship with somebody. But that doesn't mean that you can't make a choice now to start acting on your own behalf, start valuing your feelings, and to start taking action towards being the strong partner that you hope to either attract into your life, or that by being a strong partner, you are an example to the person that you are currently in a partnership with, and they can step up and mirror that. Often what we don't realize, and I know from going through this in my personal life, I have been married and divorced previously, and I actually have a Libra moon placement, so I really understand the Libran energy, and I do understand wanting to hold back expressing your own emotions for either fear that the other person isn't going to recognize them, or for fear that you might injure the other person or overburden them. And none of that is true. What I've realized in my own personal journey is that the more you open yourself up to your emotions and to expressing from a place of mature, through a place of expressing yourself maturely from a place of emotion, that you end up actually allowing the other person to step up and speak in the same way, or to be able to kind of meet your half with their half and feel comfortable in being able to express their emotions as well. A lot of times we can get into a mirroring situation in partnerships where we're mirroring fears at each other, or we're mirroring one person hiding something and another person hiding something. And when we start to just kind of open up and allow ourselves to be transparent, it allows the other person the benefit of being able to do the same. But there is something coming through strongly for, when we think of the concept of curiosity, of being open. There's this element here of where can you be curious about just opening yourself up to the energy of drawing in, or currently reforming or transforming your current relationship experience into what you truly need and what you would love to have as a romantic partnership that you are choosing to bring in and to be the partner within. And to understand that forgiveness can create a limitless experience, meaning if you can forgive both yourself and another from the past, that you are able then to allow the energy just to open up to everything that you need. So be curious. Where are you holding yourself back? Where is there an element of not being able to forgive somebody or yourself in either a current relationship or a past relationship, and how you have acted? All right. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to pull a card now for the concept of courage, and we're going to take a look at what Spirit would like you to be. What actions would Spirit like you to be courageous in taking around the energy of love for the month of February? All right. Let's see. What do all my Libras need to know about where to take action? Okay, so we have, another 2 cards came out here. So we have simple acts of kindness. It says kindness energizes you and brings happiness to those around you, the number 5. And we have spend quality time together, listen and talk to each other, number 46, breaking down to a 10, further breaking down to a 1. So when we're thinking about taking courageous action in love, it really seems like it's about getting back to the simple things this month. This is not the grand gestures of, Valentine's Day is right around the corner and you have to go out of your way to plan a lavish vacation someplace, or trying to kind of go overboard in setting up, I think, and setting up an environment for you to be comfortable in expressing yourself, I think it's more about coming back to really engaging with the simplicity around the energy of love. That sometimes we can build in and overcomplicate what love needs to mean. Meaning that we can sometimes think we have to give so much or do so much, or that love should require so much of us or another person to be love. But in reality, love is in the simple, small things. Love is receiving love from a pet that you have, and just in that moment of being able to, be a provider to your pet and stroke your, and get into the energy of love with a pet, which I'm just seeing that because of all the animals here. There's an element of really understanding that is literally as simple as love can be, and as nurturing and nourishing as love can be. Just by simply scratching the ears of your cat or playing with your dog, that there's this feeling that comes through for those of you who are animal lovers of really being able to feel that intense emotion of love and happiness that comes through by just doing something very simple, by just the act of giving and receiving. And we'll spend quality time together. And it says, listen and talk to each other. There's this very strong message here of just allowing yourself that intimate time to really, if you're in a current relationship, to really hear that person out as much as you need to express yourself. Because people do grow. And I know there's that saying of people don't change. Well, the hope is actually that people do change, because growth is change. And especially when we're in a relationship that is lengthy, who we were when we first started can be very different than we are many years down the line after going through many different circumstances and life experiences that allow us to know more and unlock more about ourselves. So there could be this beautiful opportunity at some point in this month for you just to have that quiet time, to really have that deep talk of, this is who I am now. These are my needs now. These are my feelings. In a romantic relationship way, these are the feelings and the needs I need to have met now as the person I am today, and allow the other person to have the same kindness and ability to do the same. Because what you may realize, it's funny that all of a sudden it just came to me, but that song, the Pina Colada song, and I don't know what the actual name of it is, but where the whole lyrics of the song are about an individual who is kind of putting out a want ad for somebody, a romantic partner who likes X, Y, and Z, who likes pina coladas and taking walks in the rain and all that kind of stuff. And the irony of the story is at the end, so someone applies to his advertisement and he goes to meet them. And it ends up being the significant other he's already with. And both of them are like, I didn't realize you liked pina coladas and taking walks in the rain and doing all these things. And so it showed that where they had kind of grown apart, they were actually could have grown together. They just didn't realize that they were the same person. They weren't giving themselves that ability to reconnect as the people they were in this present moment. And so there's something, I could hear that song now in my head. There's something strong coming through for you Libras who are in a relationship to really come to the table as you are today and forgive the past and see what happens. Now, same thing with those of you who are looking to get into the next romantic partnership. Come at it from the same perspective of, as you release what has happened in the past, look forward to the simple, open relationship. Not one where there has to be drama and large, grand gestures, but one that can be just in that very intimate sharing of yourself. All right, so let's take a look now at what Spirit would like you to know about kind of where to be reflective around the theme of love. Another, this is your overarching theme, but this is kind of the underlying theme here. So we have Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. Number 16, breaking down to a 7. And it says, be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. Number 45, breaking down to a 9. So as you're moving forward in either your current relationship or moving on from a past relationship, there's this reminder that, again, love isn't just between you and one person. Love exists in all relationships, including even relationships with your own animals and pets. That love is truly all around you in the small things, in holding that door open for a person as you walk out of a store. Love is taking that opportunity to, text an old friend that you're thinking about them. There are all these small ways every day that we can engage with the energy of love to allow us to open ourselves back up to a larger scale energy of love. And with the element of be supportive, says make a genuine effort to show you care. That there really is, it's not about, again, sitting here and having to be the crutch for a partner or another person that you're going to engage with in a romantic way. It's about truly being genuine in what you put out there without expecting something in return. Meaning sometimes we can get into a relationship where we are supporting somebody and doing so much for somebody else and hoping that they are going to reciprocate and acknowledge our value. And this could look like you are going out of your way to keep, let's say, a really tidy, clean environment because your significant other really enjoys a clean environment. But you're going out of your way to do it, not because you enjoy it. In fact, you may be even stressing yourself out in doing that and creating this and maintaining an environment that supports the other person. And and you're waiting for the other person to acknowledge it, to say, oh my gosh, I love you so much, sweetheart, because you keep the house environment so clean and organized. And in reality, the other person might not even come onto the radar because for them, that's just the way they like to live. It's not that they're not recognizing your efforts. They're just assuming that you're putting in the same amount of work that they are. And so really what I'm seeing here is be genuine in what you're putting your efforts towards and what holds value to you. And don't look to kind of waste your energy trying to do something for another in the hope that they are going to recognize your value. Instead, this is more about stating your value and your emotional tie to it, instead of trying to kind of in a passive aggressive way show your value and hope the other person realizes it. All right, Libra, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull just a few clarifier cards here. I'm actually really feeling that this first pile around being curious is what needs clarification, just an extra message to come through. So I'm going to go ahead and see what you need to know about kind of opening yourself up again to the limitlessness of a romantic partnership, and a romantic partnership that's really going to meet you on equal footing, one that will be as equally supportive to you as you can be equally supportive to the significant other. All right, so we have 5 of Wands. It's a card that in this scenario is like the get back out there, get back out there into the fray kind of energy. So I think there's definitely the energy of like, it's time. 10 of Swords. This is when we've been at our lowest point, where we feel kind of stabbed in the back. I feel like that's what you guys are releasing, that you all might have gone through a very tough period at some point. Again, it might not be even in your current relationship. You could be in a relationship and still be feeling the effects of this from a past relationship. And that can be damaging in your current relationship, where you're kind of bringing forward this fear or the wounds from the past and projecting them onto somebody else. But there is this feeling a little bit of kind of chaos, but also it's time to kind of get back on the horse, get back out there. Let's see, anything else for my Libras for forgiveness and limitlessness? Oh my gosh, 4 of Wands and strength. Beautiful. This is having the strength to to start a new foundation, to move forward in creating a new foundation around in either your current experience or with a future somebody waiting to come in. This is to have the strength, and possibly for some of you, because the Four of Wands can actually be in an individual reading, something around marriage. This can be when we enter into a contractual agreement. And with strength coming in, this could be to either have the strength to try again, to release an old perhaps ex or marriage and to try again, or to recommit to your current experience with somebody and to realize that maybe the foundation that you originally built needs a little attention, and to have the strength to go ahead and rebuild. And I love that the image in this card is one of almost kind of like a castle. And there's this feeling here of it's time to reimagine for yourself what that castle looks like for you. If you're going to build a new foundation with a current partnership or with one that is yet to come in, it's time to get clear on what you need emotionally from either this relationship now or what's one that's coming in, so that when you do either move to have kind of more of a deeper conversation with your current romantic partner, or when you decide that you want to start engaging with somebody else in a new partnership, that you are very clear on what you would like to see for your future, of what would feel good in a supportive relationship and what that foundation would look like, so that you attract the right person to you, or that you allow the person that you're with now to really see what your needs are and to see if they too can meet them. And if they can't, then this might be that kind of conversation of understanding that maybe this is where it's time to go your own separate ways. But the hope is that instead you allow that person to kind of rise up to meet you, and you together can work on repairing and renewing your current relationship. All right, Libra, I hope that this has been helpful. I would love to help you illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to yourself and others. If you would like to join me on that journey, you can click on the link in the description box below to book a personal reading or a one-on-one coaching session. And if I don't see you until March and in the next illumination reading, please have a wonderful and loving rest of February. Bye, Libra.